Hi guys, today I wanted to do a quick review on the reading differences between first grade, second grade, and third grade using Oak Meadow as your reading base. Now, if you've seen my channels before, or if you've seen my videos before, you know that we use Oak Meadow as the base of our homeschooling, but we substitute with our math curriculum and a few other things, and we don't do everything it says to do, and we do some extra things that it doesn't say to do. And pretty much everyone who homeschools does that, because the whole point of homeschooling is to educate the way that you think you should, right? But I have been looking over the new reading materials for third grade because my second grader has about a month of school left. Yes, we are schooling through June. We're schooling through June, and we will also do schooling through July and August, but we won't be using lessons. So I'll make another video about that when we get to it. But we're at the very end. We're currently at we just finished lesson 31 this week in second grade. And so we're almost there. We're almost finished. We're going to go to the very end of June, and then we're going to be done with our formal lessons for second grade. So in doing that, I started thinking about where I need to be to get prepared for third grade. And the big question that I had last year, which I'll add a video card or whatever it's called up there so you can see it if you're interested, is how I transitioned from reading from first grade to second grade. And I'm going to have to do that again from second grade to third grade. And that is because my older daughter, she is what I would consider a reluctant reader. She doesn't have a want to read a lot on her own, so she really relies on reading during our school time. So she doesn't have a whole lot of internal encouragement or drive to want to really learn to read. And that's fine. I mean, also if you're a homeschooler, you understand that all kids learn to read at a different pace and a different time. But that just means that I have to do a little more work at looking at where we need to be and what we should be reading. So, blah, 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 right? Okay, I'm done talking about all that. Okay, so also if you've looked at some of my other videos, you know that we buy used curriculum from Oak Meadow. We don't buy the newer curriculum, which was from 2015 on. We've always bought older curriculum. There's a lot of reasons to buy the older. There's a lot of reasons to buy the newer. It's up to you. The differences, all that information is out there on the internet. But basically, the reading is all the same. So whether you're doing the newer or older curriculum, the reading required is the same. So this should help across the board. And the other thing that I talk about is we always buy used, and I'm always so impressed by the homeschool parents that I purchased their used curriculum from, because it's always beautiful and in perfect condition, and we are so rough on our stuff. I know I will never be able to resell pretty much anything school related because it just gets beat up, and you're about to see some really beat up books. So I'm warning you. But, okay, so starting with first grade in Oak Meadow, you don't do reading the first semester at all. You go through the alphabet. The first half of the school year. The second half of the school year, you start with word families, which is the little reader that Oak Meadow gives out specific to them. It's the phonetics, I think, and it's just like AY and BR and things like that, and you read a little bit of it every day. And then you actually get into the readers after that. And the main readers are Frog and Toad, which I bought this huge treasury book from Sam's Club, if you're in America, from Sam's Club, and it was like $8, so it was totally worth it. And this one's really beat up. Little Bear, and one of the reasons why this is so beat up is because my daughter absolutely loved this book, and it went everywhere with her. So it was in the car, it got trampled on, it probably got rained on, it was put in the bike, it was put in a bag, it was put in bed. I mean, it was everywhere. So that's why this is torn up, but it's a well-loved book. They also read Little Bear and then Mouse Tales. We did not read any of these readers in first grade. We attempted to try Little Bear right here, this little one right here, and we weren't there. So we read through the word families, and we tried to read some of the very, very base like this level right here, books from the library, and then we just kind of let it go. And then I got the second grade reading curriculum. A book? A book? A book. It's a book. That's right. So when I actually looked at our second grade curriculum and looked at the readers that were given, I realized, wow, we are not prepared at all for the 2 Oak Meadow readers that come with second grade. So what we did first was we did Little Bear in second grade as opposed to going to the second grade readers. Now, I did try. I tried twice or 3 times with the second grade readers, and each time it just was too much. The way that it was laid out caused anxiety because there aren't any pictures, and I'll show you in a second what it looks like. But it just wasn't a fit, so I put them away, and we tried it 2 or 3 times, and each time I put them away. And so I just said, let's really dig into the first grade readers. So we did Little Bear, and we did this one first. And this was the book that she was reading, and she was sitting in bed reading to herself, just so excited that she could read, which is why this book is so beat up. She loved this book, and I'm so glad that I just took my time and just let her experience enjoying reading and it not being something that was shoved down her throat. So she did this one. So this is what it looks like. So this is supposed to be the first grade reader. Okay, so this is what a first grade reader looks like to Oak Meadow. And then of course the Frog and Toad. And we bought the huge Frog and Toad. So this is what your child is supposed to be reading out loud on their own and back and forth. You reading some, them reading some. This is what it looks like. This is first grade. We did this in second grade, but this is what first grade reading is. Okay, so first grade, Frog and Toads, Mouse Tales, Little Bear. Second grade, they don't give you any outside readers for second grade. They give you 2 readers that are Oak Meadow stories. One is about a homeschooling family that actually does like an Oak Meadow homeschool, and the other one is Animal Friends. And my second grader just started Animal Friends this last month of second grade. So she has caught up from not being able to do any first grade reading in first grade to now reading the second grade material at the end of second grade. So just because your child is slower or is just not picking up or not interested doesn't mean that it won't happen. So the second grade readers look like this. And you can see that the words are bigger, there's a lot more words, but what I've heard from other parents, and I think this is what we experienced, is just the layout can cause a lot of anxiety for reluctant readers. There aren't a lot of pictures, and it just seems to keep going and going and going. And even my daughter now, she'll say, well, how much are we going to read? How many pages are we going to read? So there were a lot of instances where people were saying that the longer chapters and the way that it was just from the top straight to the bottom kind of caused a lot of anxiety for kids because they couldn't really tell where they were going to stop. It just seemed to keep going and going and going. And I have noticed that with my daughter, like where I said, we're reading Animal Friends right now, and she really likes it. But she'll say, like, how many pages are we going to read? Or where are we going to stop? And I think you're only supposed to read about like 15 or 20 minutes a day. And sometimes that's only a page or 2. Now, Oak Meadow does say to read along with your children, so that can speed it up. But Animal Friends, and I have been in Meg somewhere because I'm reading it to them at night right now, but I can't find it. But it's basically looks just like this, except for it has a different picture on the front, obviously. But the writing is just like this. So you've got first grade, second grade, and then third grade, they give you a bunch of what they call the classics. Charlotte's Web, Little House in the Big Woods, Velveteen Rabbit, Pippi Longstocking, I think Winnie the Pooh is another one, and there might be one other one too. So then obviously you can see the big differences from the readers from second grade to third grade. Now I think this is the one that's probably the closest to second grade, but it's still a good chunk of reading. It just is broken apart with lots of pictures. It's beautiful, right? It's a beautiful book. But all the rest of them pretty much look the same. Oh, you gonna read Frog and Toad? Are you going to read Frog and Toad? Yes, there you go. That's a good one. Here's Pippi Longstocking. What's the problem? Little House in the Big Woods. Charlotte's Web. Now again, I kind of just looked through the curriculum, and just like the last 2 years, it said, you know, if your child is not ready for this, call Oak Meadow and find out where they are. Oh, careful. So, my goal is to finish Animal Friends and be ready for this by really reading probably the level 2 and the level 3 readers like these that you can get from the library to kind of prepare ourselves for Charlotte's Web, Little House, Velveteen Rabbit, Pippi Longstocking. But we'll see how it goes. So, if your child is not at 3rd grade level, hi, you sweet boy. If your child is not at 3rd grade level, go back to the 2nd grade level. Not the 2nd grade level, go back to the 1st grade level. If your child is flying through these, which I will tell you, when I was a kid, I remember reading these probably in 1st or 2nd grade, no problem, because I read really, really young. And I think my second daughter will be like that too. So then you might have to fill it with other reading material. But I think this really gives a guide of the difference in reading in this curriculum and what kind of books they think that the children should be reading during that time. So I'll do a picture and I'll kind of show side-by-side comparison of the differences of the 3 reading levels for Oak Meadow, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade. All right, so here we've got 1st grade, and also our well-loved Little Bear book there with a longer page. A 2nd grade Oak Meadow specific reader, just like that. And then Oak Meadow's 3rd grade, what they call the classics, look like this. And then, of course, the Velveteen Rabbit. So the jump from here to here, and then from here to here is something that you might need to work on during the summer. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like things like this where I kind of compare the first 3 grades, let me know and I'll keep trying to do it, because I know it would really help me out as I'm starting with another 1st grader this year. So it's fun to kind of look back at the 1st grade material. And I'm really excited to do it again, because from my memory, 1st grade in Oak Meadow is amazing. I'm so excited to do it. And I'm so excited to do this 3rd grade. It looks fantastic. So I'm already looking forward to something that we haven't even finished from this year yet. But I hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for watching.